podcast where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt.
Hello.
I don't know why I added more syllables to your name, but
Hey, I'm fine with it.
I did.
It's a short name.
Matt.
That was too long. That was too many.
Okay.
That was 7 A's. I prefer 5.
5 is the Matt.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
What, how's life?
How's tricks?
How you kicking? What are you watching?
Who are you kicking these
Who are you
days?
kicking?
Whose shins are bleeding? Boy. Well, I mean, like, the big one on the radar, because it came out after we did our last podcast, I'm pretty sure, is the Avengers movie.
Yes, I think it did.
Yeah. Which I did go see very recently.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah. The Endgame. The final of our generational Avengers extravaganza.
How'd you like?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. There was, I mean, like, obviously a lot of emotional weight just from the plot. The stakes are so high, right? But they still kept in so much humor. I felt like they gave Chris Hemsworth so much license to be funny.
Oh my God, he is the best part.
He's incredibly funny. It's amazing. How is he that funny?
Yeah. Well, let's just put like a blanket spoiler warning on here just so we can talk freely.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen it at this point, like clearly you don't care. But, and also the Spider-Man trailer probably also ruined it for you. Some point.
Yeah, that probably.
Yeah. Apparently they were showing that trailer in the theater now before Endgame plays.
Oh really? I didn't see that trailer.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's like not all theaters, but have you seen the second Spider-Man trailer?
Oh no, wait, maybe they did show it in the theater, and
the one that's like, oh, I'm just so sad that Tony Stark's dead, like right at the beginning of the trailer. It's like him looking at this like Iron Man memorial, and he's like, oh, I can't believe he's gone. And then Happy Hogan's like, yeah, me too, kid. And I'm like, man,
oh boy.
Like, I'm sure most people have seen the movie by now, but
yeah, it was I didn't see that one in the theater.
Well, that's good.
But you know what? I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
Because, and I think we talked about this before on the show. When we watched Infinity War, and we were really happy with like the weight and the stakes that they pulled out by actually letting Thanos win.
Yeah.
And how one of our greatest worries was that in the next movie they were just going to undo all of it, and that would be that.
Yeah.
And then it would make Infinity War pointless.
Yes.
And so, yeah, what had to happen is, of course, they were going to undo it. That was always going to happen. They had to. It had to be their mission. The emotional weight that was part of it because it took so long, though.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden, it's after the fact and they're trying to fix it, and then they failed to fix it, and then 5 years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my jaw literally dropped when I saw that. I was like, oh shit! Like, things have been bad for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, like when we went to see it, it was like opening weekend. And like when Thor just decapitates Thanos, some guy behind me goes, "Oh shit!"
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's shocking.
It is, yeah.
Thor
I was kind of like, well, that was like, we've been here for like 10 minutes. All right.
Yeah, really early on. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like, in order to make Infinity War stay awesome, reversing Thanos's shit had to have consequences.
Yeah.
And I thought right away that, like, okay, like the OG Avengers are the ones left, essentially, plus a few, right? And so the sacrifices that have to be made have to be them.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I was like, at least one of Captain America and Black Widow, like, should die.
Yeah.
And then Tony Stark 100% has to die.
Yeah.
Like, that right away, for a long time, I've been thinking, like, he has to die in this movie.
Yeah, and
that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And the way that they handled his death too, I thought was like so good.
Yeah,
like
brilliant.
Just gets all the stones, and snaps Thanos out of existence, but then the magnitude of that is what kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having all of that power.
Yeah.
Just too much.
No, it was really good. I kind of did fall asleep a little bit at the very end.
Just because
it was so
really long.
Well, okay, so we went.
That movie needed an intermission.
Both, yeah, it did.
There was actually a point in the movie where I remember thinking, this is the perfect spot for an intermission, because it had been about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it was just like naturally like, oh, I want to get up and pee right now.
Yeah. No, both. I went with my girlfriend, and both of us kind of dozed off a little bit. We're kind of doing the like hand on the head on the hand, kind of like falling off, and like and you like jerk yourself awake when your head drops, right? And that happened a little bit during the final battle, but.
And you went like opening night, right? Or was
it? No.
It was the day after or so.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days after.
But it was a late showing too, right?
It was the 11 p.m. showing.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, so we got out of there, and it was like, well, 2:30. Straight to bed.
Yeah, I went and saw a 6 o'clock showing, or I think.
Oh, that's good.
Or like 7, and it was like, yeah, this is totally doable. Long movie.
Yeah, I was just like, I better not fall asleep on the drive home. No, it was that was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I feel like
I really liked the way they closed off Cap's storyline too, actually.
Yes.
That was super satisfying.
Yeah, because they didn't need to kill both of them.
No.
For sure, but I love that they took both of them out of the game.
Yeah, and they gave Captain America the life that he was deprived.
Yeah, and instead of him just going away, he passed on the mantle.
Oh, and he didn't give it to Bucky.
Nope.
So good. Do you know why?
Because Bucky's not a character.
Because he's a useless character. He sucks. He's so bad.
I love how because he exists, he was there for that final scene with Cap, but also didn't do anything. He stayed in the back.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I love that. I love that they're not forcing this character on us right now.
It's like maybe like did the writers finally figure out that he has no bearing on the story?
None at all.
Because like they've been trying to it's the same writers. They wrote all 3 Captain America movies, and then these last 2 Avengers movies.
Huh.
And it's like, so, like they've been trying to force Bucky on us for years, as like him and Cap were best friends. I'm like, I fucking guess, but like his brain got destroyed by the Russians or Germans or whatever. Germans first, then the Russians. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's been like this brainwashed, like, killer guy.
Killer Guy is the actual title, yeah. It said it on his business card. Winter Soldier, Killer Guy.
He's a killer guy, man.
He's a killer guy. When he's at a party, you're just like, man, that guy just killed a bunch of people.
Oh, what a killer. Dude's just killing it right now.
Killer guy.
And by it, I mean 7 people out back. just took him out there and stabbed him.
Oh, what a killer guy.
What a killer guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Yeah, they just didn't they stopped trying.
And then and then I guess he was just fine. He just went and hung out, moved some hay bales around in Wakanda for a while, and they're like, "Oh, I guess my brain's fixed."
Yeah, I think that's the quick version of saying it. Yeah.
Give me a metal arm. Yeah. No, I like that too. I like
Oh dear.
I'm okay. I like Falcon way better. As a character.
Sure, yeah.
The on your left moment got me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
yeah,
nice callback.
There's so many really good moments. There really are. And I mean, ultimately, one of the biggest things that I left the theater feeling is like, I can't believe that we had this blockbuster action superhero movie that had the emotional depth to like make me cry.
Yeah.
Because I'm 100% not ashamed to say that I cried at that movie more than once.
More than once?
More than once.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm a bit of a crybaby. That's a thing. But no, it was intense.
Yeah, I didn't cry, but I'm also emotionally dead inside.
Yeah, we complete each other in that way.
Especially when it comes to media.
It takes a lot to make you emote in movies.
I want it to happen, but yeah. Doesn't always.
Oh,
happen.
and the other thing that I really loved is that Ant-Man was not just a joke.
No, he was like a real character. He was
fucking integral.
Yeah.
He needed to be there.
Good thing that rat stepped on the keyboard and let him out.
Fuck yeah, that was lucky. I guess in the span of 5 years, eventually something lucky was gonna happen to get him out.
Yeah. I guess I like that the Russo brothers got their Community cast members in there too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ken Jeong was
Ken Jeong's cameo blew my mind. For a minute afterward, I was still thinking about that mustache he had on.
Yvette Nicole Brown was in the elevator. So that means that they got Danny Pudi in Winter Soldier.
Yep.
They got Jim Rash in Civil War, and then they got those two in.
When was he in Civil War? I can't remember.
At the beginning of Civil War, after Tony Stark is like, "Hey, I'm giving out grants, giving out all the money to everyone at MIT. You're getting all the money." After he does like the big hologram thing with his parents.
Yeah.
Right before they die, and then he goes back, and then Jim Rash is like, "Hey, will any of that be made available to faculty? Because I've got this idea for a self-cooking hot dog."
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's the best part of Civil War, to be fair.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. I think that's all. I don't think they've gotten any of the other ones in there. They got to get Jeff Britta and Annie in there.
Yeah.
And Troy. Pierce can stay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, great movie.
It was a good movie.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I went and saw Detective Pikachu.
Oh, you did.
Which is the feel-good movie of the summer, let me tell you. It is just so enjoyable. So it's so just like unabashedly cheesy and fun, and like you could tell it was made by someone who like really gave a shit about the source material. Which is cool. And then like but understood that you couldn't just like reference stuff from the source material and have that equal a good movie. It was like you had to
have a good movie.
Yeah, make a good movie, and then you could put in as many fun little Easter eggs as you wanted, as long as the core of the movie was good. And Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu is like just the best.
Oh boy.
That dude's really turned his career around.
Where was it before?
Green Lantern?
Oh right, they do make Green Lantern jokes in
Deadpool.
In Deadpool, yeah. I forgot about that. Because I never saw Green Lantern. I just heard all the hate.
His career was nowhere, and then now he has one again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. But no,
and he's great.
It's so good, and yeah, it's everything I wanted from a Pokemon movie. I'm like, I'm an original 151. Okay, I don't.
Oh, me too, hands down.
I don't really fuck with any of that new shit.
There's so many now. It's
outside of like insane. A little bit. There was like Togepi and what else was there? There was a couple of new ones that kind of like
still kind of in the Indigo League. They kind of leaked in, I think.
They leaked in a little bit. Meryl was one.
Meryl, right?
Like the blue water Pikachu.
Yeah,
that was one. Lugia.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically anything.
Snubble. Schnabble.
I don't know. There was that one that was like a wheel. It was like a rhino elephant that turned into like it rolled around.
Yeah.
That was in like Pokemon 2000. Basically
I think
anything.
It was just like Oliphant or something.
Yeah, something like that. Basically anything after Pokemon 2000, the movie. I was kind of tuned out.
Yeah, fair. Me too.
That's kind of just because like I kind of started to age out of it at that point.
Yeah.
And they started introducing a whole bunch of new shit, and I was like, I can't keep up with this. What, Cyndaquil? What the fuck? Like, But so they didn't just stick with the original 151. I mean, they advertised that a lot. Like that was the focus of the marketing. You could tell was on like those original. Like there was a lot of like Bulbasaur and Charizard kind of focus in the trailer. There is a Psyduck in the movie. That's great. The girl reporter character that kind of tags along on the adventure. Her Pokemon companion is a Psyduck.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What a dumb Pokemon.
But yeah. But they don't shy away from introducing new Pokemon, or just including new Pokemon in the movie, and it doesn't like I, as someone who didn't care about those, like it didn't feel like I was being like put off. Like I didn't feel put off by that.
Oh, good.
Or like I couldn't follow what was going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically all I've heard is that it's just like actually really well done and a fun movie to watch. I had such mixed feelings when I saw the trailer, but I feel like now I have to I have to see it to understand. So
yeah. So I don't want to get into spoiling too much, but
cool.
There's a lot of really good stuff. The Mr. Mime scene for me, I think, steals.
Oh, Mr. Mime.
They do like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing with Mr. Mime, where they like mime pouring gasoline on him and they're like threatening to set him on fire.
Lovely. That sounds great.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. That's probably the best scene in the movie. But
awesome.
No, there's some really good stuff. So, highly recommend. And I guess it's the first good video game movie.
Oh yeah,
because I guess Pokemon I think was technically a video game before it was a cartoon.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Huh.
I never had a Game Boy as a kid, so I was never really a Pokemon Red or Blue kind of.
Oh, I definitely was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll like the end credits then.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
It was definitely a nice like love letter to the source material, but still manages to be good. Like I think I could take my mom to see this movie and she would be like, "Oh, that was fun."
Beautiful.
Yeah. And she maybe had minor exposure to the cartoon because I watched the shit out of it when I was a kid, so she's probably seen it. And then Pokemon cards.
Yeah, chances are she'd recognize some monsters.
I think she probably had to take me to see the first movie when it was in theaters.
Probably.
I think, yeah. So she's probably almost definitely seen that. So, but yeah, it's really good. I can't recommend it enough.
Oh, such praise.
Yeah, it was just a good time. It was just like I went to the movies and I had a good time.
And that's what you want.
And then
unless you're there to cry.
Yeah. I rarely am.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not that you know what that's like.
No. I've cried at stuff. Just not a lot. Because, again, dead inside. Anyways. Yep. I think that's all I've seen.
Then I think it's time
I'm taking my mom to see Aladdin on Tuesday.
Oh, Aladdin.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that. I don't care about Lion King, though.
No,
I want to see Aladdin.
Fuck Lion King. And I mean, I'm sure they'll change my mind once they put out a clip of like the Hakuna Matata scene or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going.
I saw a trailer for it when I was in theaters, and it ends with them singing Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I've seen that. No, they put out a clip of Will Smith singing Prince Ali.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, okay.
On board?
I'm down. Yeah, I'm good.
Great.
I'll go see it. I kind of do want to rewatch the cartoon beforehand, but I don't know if I'm going to have time.
No, just go in cold. Just go in and enjoy it for what it is. Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah, because I know, Will Smith's not going to be able to touch Robin Williams, but...
No, he just got to do his own thing.
Yeah. But the Prince Ali song looked good.
I believe it.
Like I watched that clip and I was like, all right, I can groove to this.
I'll have to check that out when we're done.
It's good. It's good. They didn't do the whole song. They went up to the he's got a zoo. I'm telling you, it's a world-class menagerie.
Love it.
Went up to that bit, and
That's
then
awesome.
I was like, oh, what?
Just wanted more.
Yeah, man. It was like getting a hand job, and then it just stopped.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, here it comes, and then it's like, no, I'm done. And you're like,
away.
What? But what am I gonna do with this?
It's actually a really good power move. If you ever have the opportunity to try it, and you want something.
Next time I'm giving a hand job, I'll I'll try it out.
Yeah, and you're stopping. You're like, how about more money or whatever.
Hey, how about more money? I'm hands off until I get another 5.
I can't even.
This podcast took a weird turn.
I'm choking on my own words.
There has been a sickness just making its way through our household. You right there, champ?
That got intense.
You know what else got intense? Fucking Godzilla.
Godzilla.
That's racist.
Godzilla.
We're, of course, talking about the Godzilla from 1998.
All units, this is 7 November Golf. The target's heading right at us. He's too fast. Panamanian government evidence of passengers dead or alive. Please stand by. I'll be slowing down. This thing's only 200 miles off the eastern American seaboard. We don't even know what the hell it is.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's 98. Maybe 97. I'm too lazy to check. Actually, I will check because I'm going to have to look up the Rotten Tomatoes score later anyway, so save myself some time. But yeah, so we watched Godzilla from 1998.
Nailed it.
See, I was right. Why did I second guess myself? But, man, what a film.
What a film. Matthew Broderick lights up the screen.
No, I gotta say, wow, really? Okay, I don't feel like that's justified. We'll get to that later. I watched this movie a shit ton when I was a kid. Like, a shit ton. I had a VHS tape of it, and I watched the crap out of it. Like, between this and the 2 Jurassic Park movies. That was like all that was on in my house for a while. Like I went through like a hardcore like dinosaur phase again when I was like, 7 or 8, whenever this movie kind of came out. And I gotta say, at the time, this movie was as good as Jurassic Park.
Because you were little.
To me.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it.
Which is strongly.
I do not feel that same way now.
Good. I would be worried if you did.
That being said, I still like this movie a lot.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I think it deserves maybe another look. Especially now that I've seen the Rotten Tomatoes score. My God.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that later.
We'll get to it.
What was your thoughts on the film?
Yeah, I mean, I had seen it before. Definitely not recently. It had been at least a decade since I'd seen this.
Yeah, it hasn't been quite that long for me, but
and I definitely didn't watch it as much as you did.
Probably about 5 years maybe since I've seen it.
Okay.
I remember buying this DVD in the bargain bin at a Best Buy.
Nice.
Probably for like $5. And that was worth it.
Oh yeah, and the DVD cover was advertised on the back that it had animated menus.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh. The Godzilla foot like comes down when you hit play and like steps on the menu and like it just made me think of like back in like the early 2000s. There was like I remember having the X-Men VHS tape, and there was this commercial that was on there. It was like, "Are you ready for Fox DVD video?"
Yes.
And it had this like commercial where it was like it advertised the X-Men, the X-Files movie, Independence Day, Titan AE, and Big Mama's House. These were like 4 like sci-fi action adventure movies, and then
Big Mama's House.
Big Mama's House.
Just to round out the group, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, telling you all about like, high definition video, and which is technically not true, but
Yeah.
Filmmaker commentaries, behind the scenes.
Oh, those behind
interactive
the scenes.
menus.
All about the interactive menus.
And like that was like back when like the menus were like part of the experience. Like I remember having like season like 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something like that, and it's like this animated thing that like moves through the graveyard, where like goes from like you go to select an episode, and then it's like and like flies up to like a certain headstone, and then you have like play, and then if you go to chapters, then it flies somewhere else, and it like takes you like 20 fucking minutes just to watch the goddamn episode. And then by the time like season 4 rolled around, it was just like a screen with like 4 episodes on it, and you just pick one and it would play.
It was so sensational at the time, but
yeah,
people quickly realized that gets old quick.
Yeah it's like we just want to watch Jumanji.
Yeah,
you fuck off, please. We don't need a horde of rhinos trampling across our screen every time we want to make a selection. Yeah, no, I remember that back when that was like the selling feature.
Yeah, so funny. But yeah, this movie, like I remembered it mostly for music reasons, and obviously.
Is that are those the reasons you were thinking?
Yes, those were all 4 of them.
Come with me. Oh, P.
So
Diddy.
ridiculous.
I definitely played that song at a 90s night not that long ago. When was it? Actually, it was like almost a year ago. Anyways.
Nice.
I DJ'd a 90s party on Canada Day last year.
Wonderful.
And fucking killed it.
But yeah, like I remembered it for that song, and then also for, Godzilla. I remembered him destroying a few things. And obviously the roar, like as soon as I heard it, just the tingles, like it just took me right back.
This is also from the era where every movie soundtrack was just called the title of the movie and then the album.
Yeah. Godzilla.
It was like Godzilla, the album, featuring songs by P. Diddy, Limp Bizkit, Korn. Like, I don't know.
But yeah, it was
TLC.
It was always like that.
Yeah.
But then watching the movie, it was like, oh, there are actually like good characters.
Yeah, TLC is
There's
coming
like
to the PNE.
I'm sorry, what?
TLC, they're coming to the PNE this summer.
Then I will avoid the PNE.
Yeah, also Vanilla Ice.
No.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice is coming to our backyard.
There's like a 90s it's like Montel Jordan and Vanilla Ice and TLC. They're doing like a 90s night.
What?
Yeah.
Do we like have to go to that?
Yeah. Okay. We do.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
We don't want no scrub there. Okay. So
Scrub,
yeah.
Yeah, Scrub's the guy who
Can't get no love from me, all right?
Yeah.
But there is a decent chance that we will hear "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go." Okay,
That
and this
TMNT
is how we do
classic
it.
scene. Yes.
So I think for "This Is How We Do It" alone, and then the turtle rap, like that's worth $20.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Shoot.
Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Maybe we'll have to talk about that after for
We'll
our
have to
Patreon exclusive.
to get signs, and we'll like hold them up at the front. This is just like Ninja Rap.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And we'll just be like, we're not leaving until you play the fucking Ninja Rap.
Love it.
Oh yeah. All right. Sorry. What were you saying?
I'm watching the movie like for things I didn't remember it for because I was young, but like there are actually good characters. There's actually a handful of like really good lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah, like a lot of the actors are just rocking the scenes. Like
Let's go through the cast right now. Matthew Broderick,
beautiful,
like surprisingly charming.
Yeah, I thought in my head for some reason I was like, I'm gonna see him and I'm just gonna think of Ferris Bueller, but I did not.
No,
he's a completely different character, and I loved it.
Yeah. Hank Azaria. Plays Animal.
So funny.
A guy who has a name, but everyone just calls him Animal.
Yep.
Even his wife. So there's that. He steals the show in a lot of scenes.
I think he's my favorite character in the whole movie. Yeah.
Like especially when he comes home and there's just like everyone in the house. And he just like kind of goes like, "Hey, honey, who the hell are all these people?" And she's like, just let half of New York sleep on their living room.
Yep.
His wife is great too. I can't remember her name.
Can't either. But yeah, they make a great pair.
Yeah, but she's got this like total like New York, like Audrey, honey.
Well, couldn't you just let them sleep outside?
I can't just let them sleep outside. Animal. Yeah. She's in that bedroom crying her eyes out. Cause like it's just like that
nasally.
Like she orders a cup of coffee for sure.
Yes, for sure.
That and her hair is just like 90s to the max. I can't even
it's on point.
Begin to describe it, but holy shit, it's good.
Yeah,
there's a lot of great 90s looks in this movie actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hank Azaria, the girl that plays the wannabe reporter, Audrey. I can't remember her name.
Oh, I can't either.
But she's actually like pretty good too. I'm just gonna look this up. I don't remember
like
what she's been in.
The character is annoying in a lot of ways.
Yes.
But like she plays it so well.
Oh yeah, totally. What's her name? Maria Patillo. She's hasn't been in much.
She did such a good job though. I really enjoyed it.
This might have like killed her career. Like she was in True Romance. Candy. She must have played like a stripper or something.
Sounds like a stripper name.
Yeah. But yeah, this might have killed her career.
That's too bad, because like I'm saying, like there are a lot of really good things about this movie. And
totally. Jean Reno is in it.
That's one of the best things about this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's
so good.
Plays French Secret Service operative named Philippe. So basically, let's the plot of this movie, and it's weird that we have to describe the plot of a Godzilla movie, but
it is, isn't it?
I
But
mean,
there are things we need to mention. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the opening of this movie, where Godzilla wrecks the Japanese fishing ship,
Yeah. Classic.
that scene is great.
Yeah.
Like really well done. And I was like watching this, and I was like, you know what? I kind of miss Roland Emmerich as a filmmaker. Because like between that and like the opening scene of like Independence Day, like the dude knows how to start a movie really well. Where like it's just like pouring rain, the dude's like eating his noodles, watching sumo wrestling, and then all of a sudden it's just like, you know, the blip on the radar, and he's like, oh, what's this? And then like the ship just gets rocked.
Yeah.
And you don't see what's going on. There's a couple different scenes where, you know, Godzilla, where you don't see Godzilla. They kind of hold off on the reveal of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Till probably about the half hour mark, maybe half hour, 45 minutes into the movie.
Something like that. Yeah. They hold on to it for a bit.
So the basically the Jean Reno and his crew are will keep showing up at all these disaster sites because this ship like washes up on shore in like Tahiti or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring in Dr. Nick Tatopoulos, played by Ferris Bueller. Matthew Broderick. Thank you.
There you go. Come on.
I want to say Matthew Perry, and I knew it wasn't right.
Oh my gosh.
Played by Matthew Broderick. He's a radiation expert. He was in Chernobyl studying the effects of nuclear fallout on the earthworms in Chernobyl,
Yep.
which apparently have increased in size by 17%.
They're 17% bigger.
Yeah. So he's in Chernobyl studying that, and he gets pulled, you know, in by the classic scene where the government just drops in on a helicopter and is like, Dr. Nick Tatopoulos, there's this running joke at the beginning of the movie where no one can say his name.
Yeah, he always has to go, it's Tatopoulos.
Yeah.
He's like a bit of a weenie kind of guy. It's cute. I like it.
And, you know, they're like, you're being reassigned, and then they take him to Tahiti, and the army colonel there, who's played by the dad from Small Soldiers,
Yeah.
It's
hard to take him seriously, I gotta
is
say.
there, and he's like, all right, well, you're studying, you take samples of things. He's like, oh yeah, I take samples of things and I study, you know, the radiation. It's like, well, great, here's your sample, study it. And he's like, what? And he like pulls back this big crane shot, and he's like standing in a giant footprint.
Yeah.
Which leads to one of my favorite lines, which is, that was a footprint. Colonel, that was a footprint.
Yeah, he's so ridiculous.
There's no animal on Earth that could make something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great.
So fascinated by it.
But then he's also like right about everything.
Yeah, he's really
and
smart.
No one takes him seriously.
Yeah.
Where like they have this paleontologist, and she's like, oh, it could be like an Allosaurus, you know. And
like, yeah, it's a long lost dinosaur.
Yeah, he's like, you know, and they're like, well, where's it been hiding for the last 60 million years? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, no, there's no way this is a dinosaur. And then he basically hypothesizes that, you know, since it kind of happened near French Polynesia,
which has been a site for a lot of atomic tests.
Yeah, by the French government, French military, right? That there could be, you know, this could be a nuclear kind of mutation.
I think he uses the word aberration.
Aberration,
which
yes.
is a great word.
But it's like basically, like, it could be like a new species that has evolved or mutated from, you know, the results of, you know, exposure to intense levels of radiation.
Yeah.
So.
Bingo.
So there's that.
Totally right.
And he's totally right. And then later on in the movie, he's totally right about it, you know, laying eggs, and totally right about it having a nest. And
yeah, because it obviously makes its way to New York.
Yeah, so
trashes the shit out of it.
Before we talk about that, can we talk about the rain in this movie? The rain in this movie is insane. Like,
the rain is insane.
It is. Like, there's so much of it.
It's so wet.
Yeah, like, okay, in Chernobyl, it's just pouring rain.
Real hard.
Like so much. And like there's obviously, there's a difference between like real rain and then movie rain. Like they have to use like rain machines because like real rain, A, you can't control when it rains, and B, it has to be kind of more, there has to be more rain because like you can't see the droplets on film, right? They have to be bigger drops or whatever. But like I don't know if they just like went overkill and got like every rain machine available to them in, New York City, because fuck, man, like it's just like it is pouring rain throughout this entire movie, to like an insane amount of rain all the time. Like you're like the scene where at the end where Animal's following him in his van, like in Totopoulos gets in a cab and Animal's like following him. He's got like, the wipers going like full blast, and it's just like you can't see shit out the front of this van. It's just like this insane amount of rain, and it's like that for the whole movie.
Maybe it just rains like that in New York.
I don't know. It that for some reason stood out to me, where I was like, this is overkill.
This is too much rain.
This is unacceptable. But yeah, it was. I don't know. That was something that
just couldn't get over it, man. It's just too much rain.
I don't know why. It
go to sleep kind of dreaming about rain.
It kind of bothered me a little bit, where I was like, there's so much.
I wake up wet and I don't know why.
Oh no, I know why.
Whoa. A gulp.
No, I have too many blankets.
Yeah, no, that's
sweating.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so Godzilla makes his way to very rainy New York.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of my favorite parts about that, when he comes up out of the water and just starts walking through the city like he owns the fucking place.
I know where you're going.
There are so many boats just falling off of him.
It's kind of a nice touch, actually, like detail-wise.
That many boats, though?
I mean, okay, sure. Like, there's a lot of boats.
Like, it's just
he's big,
boats.
though. He's big.
Boats. He's fucking huge, yeah. But just like
boats
are falling off of him, and then like 5 minutes later, he's walking deeper into the city, and another boat just falls off him, like it was like trapped behind his ear or something, and just that one finally got loose.
I could buy it. He's got these big spines on his back, and there's a lot of fishing boats.
But just the fact that we never
they're
saw
not
any
huge. They're like teeny tiny, like fishing boat.
Yeah,
kinda.
like he came up at the pier.
Yeah.
And so, and like trashed a dock, which was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And but it's just that we never saw any boats stuck to Godzilla. It's just that we'd like see the foot come down and then a big boat come down.
Yeah. Well, because even at the beginning of that scene, like that's the reveal of Godzilla, right? But they're still kind of they're still not showing you all of him at that point, right?
Like giving it all away.
You're seeing him like through a car windshield, kind of like walk overhead, and you're seeing like the foot come down, and eventually by the end of that scene, you do get a full view of him when Animal, gets his camera and kind of goes chasing after him.
Yeah. Like an animal.
Yeah. But yeah, the boat's falling off. It was ridiculous, and it's like one of those things where like if they didn't do it, you would never be like, what, they really fucked up. They should have had some boats fall.
Yeah, clearly some boats should have been stuck to Godzilla when he came out of the water.
But the fact that they did it, I'm like, what? That's kind of like that's like a nice little touch where like I can kind of hear Roland Emmerich being like, what we need? He needs to come out of the water and he needs to have boats just falling off of him, because he's so big that when he comes out, all the boats, they would just stay on his back, and then he's like rocking, like he's walking around and it's like, the boats just falling, just rain. Give me 12 boats. I want 12 boats to fall.
It's like I'm listening to an interview with him.
Yeah. God, I miss Roland Emmerich. I mean, I don't, because like the movies he's made recently are shit. Like that second Independence Day movie.
Ooh. It's funny actually when you were talking about how you watched the VHS of Godzilla so many times when you were young. I was thinking about how at the same time I was watching Independence Day on VHS so many times.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
You watched Independence Day a lot?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That is not. Wow. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I watched it a lot, and my brother liked it a lot too, so we would watch it together. And my dad liked it a lot.
The one that I like, or the one that I don't?
The brother that you like.
Oh, okay.
I generally just don't mention the one you don't. So.
Well, I guess he wouldn't.
I don't want to aggravate you, so I just leave him out of it.
Well, that's fun. I just assumed that your childhood was like Disney movies and
Red
Dwarf, and Star Trek movies.
I mean, it was a lot of that too, but
just knowing your dad, I imagine that some Star Trek had to seep in to your life.
Yeah, it did. Inevitably.
Yeah.
Anyway, Godzilla.
So
he wrecks up the place. Army gets called in. They start, trying to trick him by giving him a bunch of fish and then shooting him, and obviously the shooting.
Oh, they try to lure him too. Oh, the fish idea is to.
That's
Nick's idea
too.
Yeah.
When they first try to attack him, they just like fucking up because it's Godzilla.
Yeah,
and they lose him.
They're like, why don't we? Yeah, that's just it, right? They're like, yeah, well, he's kind of disappeared, and they're like, how does he disappear? He's a gigantic dinosaur in a city, like, and so Totopoulos is like, well, why don't we just like lure him? What does he need? And then the idea is to just dump a bunch of fish in the middle of Central Park and get him to come to them.
Yep.
Which totally happens, which leads to another great line, which is, that's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
It's a huge pile.
So, yeah, that leads to, like, the first big, like, action beat between the army and Godzilla, where Godzilla shows up, starts eating the fish, and everyone, they're kind of like, okay, like hold your fire, we're not going to shoot anything. But then his tail knocks over some radar dishes.
Yeah.
And so then they lose all their or satellite dishes, I guess. So then they lose their uplink to the like command center, and so the dad from Small Soldiers is like, "What's going on in there? Fire at will!" What's the soldier guy's name? O'Neill. Like, O'Neill, what's going on out there? Fire at will! And O'Neill's like, all right, fire! And they just like start shooting at Godzilla, and like all of their missiles miss him, and like blow up. They blow up the Flatiron Building right off the bat.
Yeah, just boom, gone.
And then some like helicopters follow him. Some like I don't know if they're Apache attack helicopters.
I think so.
Are they? They're like the single pilot kind of, mini attack helicopter.
Oh yeah.
They're like following him through the city, and they like lock onto him
with heat-seeking missiles.
With heat-seeking missiles, and they fire. And then he just kind of steps out of the way, and the missiles go and blow up the Chrysler Building.
Yeah.
Which leads to the best reaction, which is, that's a negative hit.
The look on his face when he's just hovering there watching the Chrysler Building crumble.
And then the mayor is like, negative hit. That's the goddamn Chrysler Building. And it just like the fucking Chrysler Building just gets blown up. We should mention too, like obviously this movie came out pre 9/11.
Oh yes.
So
absolutely, yeah.
They had no qualms about just
trashing that city,
blowing up
so many
New York
towers.
Landmarks. Like I'm surprised the Statue of Liberty didn't get royally fucked by Godzilla at one point. Like,
oh, if he just got up and just, I love this statue,
just started fucking it. Not what I was thinking, but just get. I guess the Statue of Liberty is not actually that big when you think about it.
Ooh, so like Godzilla proportions.
Yeah, so like he probably could have just like taken it out with like a tail swipe, and it would have been like, well, there goes the Statue of Liberty. All right, next.
Yeah, well. He was too busy trashing all those buildings. Well, actually, the army was too busy trashing all those buildings. Let's be real.
Plus, it's probably good. Yeah, the army really does a number on New York in this one. Plus, it's probably a good thing. Oh, the MetLife building, Godzilla wrecks that one. He just kind of jumps through the middle of it. Oh,
yeah.
And just stab your microphone stand for you there.
It's all good.
There's just like a big Godzilla-sized hole right through the middle of the MetLife building after the initial attack. Empire State Building and the World Trade Center buildings, they seem to escape this movie.
Yeah, I guess
unscathed.
I guess they didn't want to raise the entire city.
Yeah.
Just like enough to
he doesn't even
make it hurt.
Climb the Empire State Building. I guess that's more of a King Kong move. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more
maybe they're like too tall.
Godzilla's more of a digger than a climber.
Yeah, that's true. He was a burrower. Oh, Madison Square Garden obviously also gets blown the fuck up at the end.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the base of what happened. So basically, like, Audrey Timmons is like a wannabe reporter whose boss is played by Harry Shearer, who's this like scummy,
so sleazy,
scummy news reporter in New York, and like she really wants to be on air, and he's like, well, then like have dinner with me tonight, you know. She's like, but you're married. He's like, yeah, and you want this job, so, you know, he's like that kind of guy.
So awful.
But yeah, so she ends up stealing this, like, her and Nick Totopoulos. I'm just gonna call him Nick.
Yeah,
her and Nick were like lovers for a while. They dated for almost 4 years, and I guess he proposed at one point, and she ran off to be a reporter, and he joined the Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
Yep.
And
classic story. Really.
So they bump into each other. Actually, she bumps into him when he's buying like a whole lot of pregnancy tests.
That's right. Yeah.
And her opening line is, "You must have quite the harem."
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. So funny.
So they end up
great lines like that in this movie.
Yeah. So they end up going back to his tent where he's like doing these tests. He's testing tissue samples or blood samples that he picked up of Godzilla to find out that Godzilla's pregnant. And so they're hanging out there, and then she ends up stealing a top secret tape from him.
Top secret VHS
tape.
The 90s.
Yeah, so good. So I can't remember where I was going with this.
Something about the plot of the movie, maybe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so then that gets leaked to the press.
Yeah,
and
she tries to make it her own story so that she gets her big breakout.
Yeah, and then Harry Shearer gets a hold of it and cuts it.
Yeah,
himself.
Screws her over.
But
then obviously it is made apparent that it was Nick's fault because he's mentioned by name in the exclusive.
Yeah, and it's like he's mentioned by name, and it's the well, and I think she mentions that in the report that he has a theory that Godzilla's pregnant and could lay eggs.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, which is something that like they were just talking about with the military in that scene, and and then and so then they're like, oh my god, you went to the press with this, and he's like, what? No, like, and then it's like, well, she stole his tape, right? So then they kick him out, and he gets in a cab, and who should be driving the cab but Jean Reno. And we've seen these guys kind of like hanging out throughout the movie.
Yeah, surveilling everything.
They go and they interview.
Complaining about American coffee.
Yeah, that's the business. I thought you said this was French roast.
He says French roast.
He's like, wait, French roast. And like holding up a can of like instant coffee that says French roast on it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then like, brings back donuts and like, no croissant? Like, no, monsieur. And he's like, so there's in like every scene he's like complaining about coffee and eating some sort of like he's got some like classic like American like 2 eggs and bacon and pancakes kind of thing at one point. And, like one of the guy like takes his bacon, he's like, what the hell?
This is my breakfast. I'm hungry.
The French guys are great. So basically they take him to this base where they find out that they're French Secret Service, and then they've been trying to
clean up their own mess.
Clean up their own mess, basically, because like they've been doing all these nuclear tests in French Polynesia, which have led to this genetic mutation that created Godzilla, and so they're like, we gotta try and clean it up, basically, and we need your help because you're the only person that kind of knows what's going on, and we've bugged. They bugged the mayor at one point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they're doing all this surveillance on the military, and they basically find out that the military is not going to go looking for the nest of eggs, and so he's like we know how to get into the city, but we don't know where to start looking, so we need you to come. You're gonna come, and he's like, sure. I always wanted to join the French Foreign Legion, which is like, I don't think you could make that joke today. Like, I don't think kids today know what the French Foreign Legion was.
No, probably not.
No.
It
was too bad.
What a pity.
Yeah, kids fucking suck.
Anyway.
Yeah, so then Animal followed them in his van, and kind of like,
as one does,
and kind of like, sneaks in to the warehouse a little bit to like eavesdrop. Or he's like peeking in through a window, and he like hears what's going on. So then he like goes back to his place, and he like gets there's 1,000 people in his house.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm seeing happen. It's so good.
And so then like Audrey's in the bedroom crying because she got Nick fired, and her story got snatched, and like her life is ruined. And he's like, well, hey, Nick and a bunch of French guys in military outfits are gonna sneak into the city and go, looking for the nest. Let's go after him. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, come on, it's gonna be fun. And then she's like, all right. And so she puts on this ridiculous outfit. That's not a stealth mission outfit. It's like this long leather trench coat and like a beret.
Yep.
Whereas like Animal's got his like backwards baseball hat and like leather jacket.
Yeah.
Also a leather jacket. Everyone's wearing leather jackets in the rain in this movie. Like, fucking someone get some fucking Gore-Tex. Like, Jesus.
Was that life in the 90s? Do I just not remember it well? Was everyone getting their leather wet?
Maybe. That's that. Oh, getting my leather wet. Ugh. Oh, I don't like that.
Don't you though?
No.
Don't you though?
No, I mean I do. But I don't.
I do, but I don't.
I like football, but also I don't.
So yeah, they sneak after Nick and the Frenchman.
Yeah. And that leads them to Madison Square Garden, where
they find the nest.
They find the nest with hundreds of eggs.
So many eggs.
Which then begin to hatch, and all the baby Godzillas, which are like, Velociraptor sized.
Yeah, scary.
Because what movie had just come out the year before? But The Lost World.
Yeah.
So there was this like, Jurassic Park, pretty heavy Jurassic Park influence.
Yeah. And while like the CGI scenes were like pretty lackluster, when they were actually hatching, that was puppet work, right?
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of practical.
Yeah, and it looked pretty good. Like,
oh yeah, no, it was good.
I was expecting that stuff to look a lot shittier. Coming into this movie.
That's somehow the CGI work in this movie is not that great.
Yeah,
which is surprising in a way, because the CGI work in like Jurassic Park, which is 93, looks like pretty good still. Like, it still holds up. It's not as good as it was then, right? But
technology, but
yeah, but
super watchable still.
It's totally watchable. Like, still really impressive. And then even I think the CGI work in The Lost World, I think, is like miles better.
Yeah.
And so, you look at that, which came out the year before, and then you look at this, and it's like this wasn't a small movie. And like, I don't know, like, was ILM just like too busy working on the Phantom Menace at this point to put out, like, to do work on anyone else's movies? Because like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's not like it was a small budget movie. It should have been able to have like pretty good CGI, but
yeah, you think so? But there it was.
Like, is Steven Spielberg the only guy that's allowed to have like good looking dinosaurs in his movie?
Yeah, he copyrighted that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the CGI worked, because it should be better, you know.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't horrible.
It's not horrible,
Yeah.
and the big Godzilla looks better than the little Godzillas.
Absolutely, yeah.
The little Godzillas, it's pretty obvious that they're fake, and I think watching it on DVD didn't help. Like on VHS, I think it kind of
It's
looked
hard to tell.
it looked
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
But watching it on HD TV and yeah.
But yeah, all the eggs hatch, and they quickly realize that in order to not have the entire city overrun and murdered by these little monsters, they need to like contain them, and they start like locking all
Yeah.
the doors, and they start breaking out, and they they eventually just like make a call to the military, right?
Well, yeah. So how they get the message out is they broadcast live on TV, because they break their way into the broadcast booth where they do their hockey games and stuff.
Audrey's network covers the Mets games, and
Yeah,
she knows how to set that up.
Yeah. So yeah, so they like send like a instant message through, like, I guess, like through like a laptop. They have like a instant messaging kind of thing, like early. I mean, it's AOL Messenger. I don't know, but they like send a message, and he's like put us on live from Madison Square Garden like right now, and he's like, what? There's no Rangers game on tonight. And then they kind of
and then
they pan over to all the little Godzillas running around
just all over the place,
and like, you see that? Put us on TV, man. We gotta get the word out. And he's like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
Give me a second. Yeah. So they blow that up. And,
because of course the military is monitoring all of the news.
Yeah.
And that's how they reach them. It's just being broadcast on the news. The military sees it,
and so like while they were doing this, the army like had like a submarine fight with Godzilla where they thought that they killed him.
Yeah,
at one point,
because the computer said so.
Yeah,
like they would,
and then
the torpedoes followed it, and then the computer was like, target terminated.
Yeah,
and they immediately started celebrating really hard.
Yeah,
without trying to find the body or anything.
Well, no, they did mention that they were like sending divers in to find the body at one point. I think in the next scene.
I think in one of the scenes, someone said that they should do that. Like no,
I think the colonel said
archaeologist, didn't she?
Oh, maybe.
Like,
no,
like, we should confirm or something.
I remember the general guy like talking to the mayor, being like, "Yeah, we're sending divers in." Anyway, it's not important.
Oh, okay.
Not important.
Yeah. They fucked up.
So, but anyway, so they blow up Madison Square Garden. They kill all the baby Godzillas. And then actual big Godzilla shows up and sees all the dead babies and is like, "Oh, hell no."
Oh yeah, it like leans down its big head and like nudges one of its dead babies, and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's painful to watch.
And then it sees them and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And they like get in this cab. And
and this Godzilla movie has an epic car chase.
Yeah, where they're being chased through New York by Godzilla, and they're in a yellow cab. It's like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like if one of them was eating a hot dog while it was going on, that would have been
brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're getting chased through the city, and they manage to like they throw the cab ID out the window at O'Neill as he's like driving by.
Right, because the army gets redeployed.
Yeah.
And they like pass each other.
They pass each other, and so Totopoulos like whips the cab ID out of the cab at O'Neill, and so they like bust into the cab company office, and like find out the frequency of that cab.
Yeah.
And so he's like you gotta lure him to the Brooklyn Bridge, and we'll hit him with the F-18s. And so then they lure him to the Brooklyn Bridge, and he gets caught in the
suspension wires,
and they hit him with F-18s, and that eventually does kill him. But
yeah, it takes like 8 missiles or something.
It's a lot,
and doesn't explode, but just starts bleeding out.
Yeah, there's a great bit in that too, where they're like in Godzilla's mouth, and like
the whole car is in the mouth.
Yeah, the drive out. Oh, and there's the bit where they're in the tunnel, and it's blocked off, so they need to go out the way they came, and so like the French guy is driving, Jean Reno is driving, and he's like, and what would you suggest we do? And Totopoulos is like, does this thing have high beams? It's like, so they just like start charging at him with the lights off, and then like at the last second they like hit the high beams, and he's like, and
he also just leans on the horn.
Yes, as they're driving, I was like,
yeah,
it's so good.
It's hilarious. It's ridiculous.
And then and then it ends with a shot of one lonely egg that hadn't hatched yet.
Ooh, of course.
For the sequel that we never got, which is too bad. I would have watched another one. There was the animated series.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah, where that egg hatches, and then Nick Totopoulos and the redhead paleontologist lady, there's like they like form a team, and like they like team up with Godzilla.
Weird.
Yeah, and like fight other monsters, but like Godzilla's like their homie.
I don't really remember this.
Yeah, it was weird. It didn't last very long.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I do have it on DVD though.
Cute.
Yeah, it was.
Watch that next time.
Was it a bargain bin and like some kind of weird, like a Fields or something like that? Like one of these like weird like.
Just out in a field somewhere.
Just out in a field.
You and your bargain bins.
Dude, the bargain bin is the dream. Okay, that's my life. That's my favorite thing in life is the fucking bargain bin.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So that exists, and I have it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
Godzilla.
98 Godzilla.
Like I said, I dig it.
It was fun.
It's fun. The characters are like really good.
Yeah.
This was like back when Roland Emmerich was kind of on top of the world, box office wise. Maybe not critically.
Yeah.
As I see here, but yeah, it was fun. It was a fun movie. I dig it. I think people should look at it again. I think it deserves. I think maybe in retrospect, maybe it's not as bad as people remember it being.
Okay.
I think there's like a fun campiness to it.
There is,
but it still has like good, endearing, entertaining characters, and like the action is fine.
Yeah, it is.
The end bit with the French soldiers and they're running through Madison Square Garden and the Godzilla, the baby Godzillas are chasing them. That's pretty good.
Oh, which by the way, it's a chase scene through Madison Square Garden. The baby Godzillas are chasing them, and Matthew Broderick, who's at the back of the pack, fucking turns around and like unleashes a bunch of basketballs that are on a tray, and then also takes a giant gumball machine and smashes it on the ground. And then as they turn a corner, all these baby Godzillas are sliding across the floor, slipping on gumballs and basketballs. It's so funny.
Yeah,
the old slipping on gumballs. It's so good. It's classic. I don't know why, but that scene, I just loved it so much.
Oh,
it's so funny to watch.
No, it's a good one, man. Hey, what did you think of the design of Godzilla in this? Because like it's obviously different from the classic.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Classic Godzilla. They gave it more of like a long nose. They made it look more like a T-Rex, basically.
Yeah, well, it was
what they tried to do, right?
Yeah, but I kind of felt like they tried to make it look less like a specific dinosaur.
Yeah.
And more like an iguana.
There's a bit of that too, but I think like because normally like Godzilla kind of walks upright. He has like a really short face, that kind of thing. I think they kind of took it. They're like, what if Godzilla had more of the stature or the posture of a T-Rex, right? So like it didn't stand upright. It kind of leaned forward.
It has little arms.
Yeah, I mean it had big arms, but it had like a longer face, right?
Yeah,
more dinosaur-like face. So what do you think the Rotten Tomato score was for this?
57.
No, fucking way lower.
Did it get like a 32?
Lower.
Lower than that? I just don't want it to be lower. I think that's the
In
problem.
fact, it's exactly half of 32.
I'm so tired. 16?
It's 16.
Fuck. I was like, oh, I should do this way faster.
16%.
16 is so bad.
Yeah.
Man, that's low.
Not deserved.
No.
No.
That's so low.
No. Like, the audience score is 28.
Ugh, it's still so bad.
Yeah.
Man.
I wonder what the last Godzilla movie got. Because, like, that, a lot of people seem to hate that movie. I dug it, but I think, I like the characters in that movie better than or in this movie better than I did in that one.
Huh.
What was it, 2014? Just out of curiosity, I just want to see. Oh, see, this guy has a 75%.
Oh, that's
like way higher.
Way better.
Yeah. I mean, look, it is like a better movie, I think. But yeah, I don't know. This one just has this like, and maybe there's a bit of nostalgia creeping in for me, but it just has this like charm to it, and I dig it. I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bit of that nostalgia too, but I was also going in expecting it to be way shittier. Like I thought I remembered it, even though I remember liking it. I thought I remembered it as being like kind of a shitty movie that we were gonna like make fun of. But then there was just too much of it that was actually an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, this is good. I'm on board. It's nothing spectacular or anything, but it's actually just enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. So what are you giving it then?
Breakfast Club fist bump.
You're giving a Breakfast Club fist bump?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm torn between that and Craptacular.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like
I just feel like the things I liked about it weren't because it sucked so much,
No. Yeah, no, that's fair. Like we said, like the characters are really good.
Yeah.
There's genuinely funny dialogue and like funny moments.
And you care what happens to them.
Yeah, the action is like fine.
Yeah.
It's it's not stellar action, but there's also no like really like cheesy, acting or like really kind of cheesy action pieces that like, doesn't look good or like doesn't come off well.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like they tried to do something and it doesn't work. So yeah. Okay, Breakfast Club. Don't you forget about me. Yeah, I'm with you. That's what I'm gonna give it to.
Sweet.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I was fully expecting to give this a Craptacular.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because like I knew like I was expecting it to be kind of bad, but I knew I was gonna love it.
Right.
Because I'm like, just if for nothing else other than like just nostalgia.
Yeah, you just had to love it.
Just had to love it.
And no, it wasn't crappy.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, internet, this Roland Emmerich's Godzilla movie is good and you should watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, like do it. And if you have, give it another shot.
Watch this one and then watch the 2014 one and then go see the new one that's coming out.
That's right, yeah.
I think I might take my mom to see that too.
Cute.
I don't know. We for Mother's Day, like whenever that came out, 2014. Was that 5 years ago already? Jeez.
Oh boy. That
feels like so long.
Well, let's not get lost down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Okay.
Mother's Day.
Whenever for Mother's Day, whenever that movie came out, it came out right around Mother's Day. And I was kind of like, Mom, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? She's like, I don't know, like you take me to go see a movie. And I was like, okay, you want to go see Godzilla? She was like, sure.
Huh?
I was like, are you serious? Because I'll totally take you to see Godzilla for Mother's Day. And she's like, yeah, that sounds like fun.
That's so cute.
So we went and
I love that.
We went and saw Godzilla for Mother's Day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I treated her. I took her to the VIP.
Oh, natch.
Got some food. Got some drinks.
Treat your mother right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, okay, moving on.
So, anyways, take your mom to see Godzilla, everyone. You won't regret it.
And there it is.
So yeah, this has been the show.
It has, hasn't it?
It has.
Like, when you really get down to it, this was the show.
This was the show that we did. Yeah. If you want to get in contact with the show, you ask us a question, recommend a movie.
Oh, we love those recommendations.
Anything like that. We don't have anything good for next month, so send us a reco, and we'll get on that. Maybe.
Reco.
It's an abbrev of recommendation.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you want to get in contact with the show, you can do that retrocratpod@gmail.com. We're also retrocratpod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You get in touch with us anywhere there. We'd be more than happy to hear what you have to say. If you like the show, please give us a like and subscribe and a review on iTunes. It really helps get the show out there. And if you think you have a friend that would also dig the show, just maybe tell them about it. And if they're still kind of hesitant, maybe next time you guys are out, like at the bar or something like that, and like you wait till they go to the bathroom, you can just like take their phone and just like download a couple episodes of the podcast onto their phone.
Yeah, but who doesn't take their phone into the bathroom with them? That's like the whole reason to go in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people don't at the bar. Just leave it at the table.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, I think at home you'd take your phone with you, because that's like, you're going to go in there, you're going to like take a dump. That's going to take 5 minutes, but you're going to spend like 10 minutes playing solitaire.
Naturally.
In there. So, that's, I think when you're in public, the name of the game is get in, do your business, and get out as fast as possible. You're not going to be sitting there with your phone. I mean, just take your phone with you, because like, fuck, man, it's got like your whole life on it at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that shit getting stolen. But I guess if you're like at like a group of, with a group of people at the bar. Anyways, the point is, download stuff onto your friends' phones when they're not paying attention. And one day this will just start playing on their phone, and they'll be like, what the fuck is this? But they'll be driving, and so they can't do anything about it.
And they will hate it.
And they'll just have to listen to this. So yeah, you want to fuck with your friends, download our show onto their phone.
Perfect.
But yeah, you leave a review and a rating. It really helps get the show out there, especially if it's a 5-star rating.
That's the best one, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the best one.
I still really want someone to give us a 5-star rating and then leave a review. It's just, that's scathing.
Yeah, because you can say whatever you want in the review. That doesn't help. Like, that doesn't affect the metrics at all. It's mostly the rating.
Yeah.
So you could be like, these guys are idiots, and they talk about taking your phone to the bathroom, and it like has nothing to do with the movie. It takes way too long to end the episode.
Every time.
And to which I say, just turn it off.
Yeah.
Just turn the podcast off. It's done. You don't have to listen to it. But if you do want to keep listening to it, you can listen.
Then here we are.
Here we are.
How are you doing?
Give us a 5-star rating. If you do want to listen to it, you can listen to it on basically any pod app. You got your Stitcher, your Google Play, your Spotify.
That's the one.
iTunes.
There we go.
It's on YouTube.
YouTube, hell no.
iHeartRadio.
That's a thing.
I guess it is a thing. I've never used it.
That's
but it's
the thing.
on
That's
there.
the thing that I hear you mention every month. That
is.
Otherwise I never hear in my life.
It was like when I was signing up for like how to get the podcast out there. It's like, what do you want to add? And you can add all the things, right? So like you got like your basic RSS feed, and that goes to iTunes, and then that kind of then also gets sent to like your like Stitchers and your podcatchers, right? And like the podcast app on your iPhone.
Of course, yeah.
and all that stuff. And then there's like a bunch of other things. So it was like Google Play. I was like, sure, I'll add that. And then like YouTube, I'm like, sure, that could be fun. And then there's just iHeartRadio. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but let's add it.
Why not?
Let's just put it on there. If there's like one guy, if you're the one guy that listens on iHeartRadio,
shoot us a mail, man.
Yeah, let us know. We'll give you a shout out at the end of next episode. And if we don't get an email, then we know that no one listens, and I'm going to take it off iHeartRadio.
Never again.
Yeah. So if you are listening on iHeartRadio, let us know, because otherwise it's coming off.
I love it when we give our listeners ultimatums.
Yeah, you're going to start listening on Spotify like normal people. All right. That was the show. That was Godzilla. We'll be back next month with another intriguing flick.
Ooh, can't wait.
I don't know what. Send us a reco.
I hate it.
Well, I don't hear you recoing anything.
You've got me there.
Do this all myself. Pick the movie. Do the show. No good. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm the co-host.
Oh, right. Cool. Anyways, this has gone on for far too long, and people need to get on with their lives. So
I know I do.
I will say thank you for listening, and until next time, keep watching crap.